The year is 2027. Taiwan Strait, a Chinese DF-17 hypersonic glide vehicle, separates from its booster at 100 kilometers altitude. Mach 10. It maneuvers left, then right, changing course 200 kilometers from its predicted trajectory. America's THAAD batteries track it too high. SM-3 interceptors too low. SM-6 reaches only 33 kilometers at Mach 3.5, too slow, too short. The hypersonic glide vehicle continues unperturbed, but this time something else rises from an Aegis destroyer's Mk-41 vertical launch cells, something purpose-built for exactly this moment. September 25, 2024, the Missile Defense Agency awarded Northrop Grumman an $832.8 million contract for America's first dedicated hypersonic defense system, the Glide Phase Interceptor. Space-based sensors track plasma-sheathed targets through fire-controlled data links, feeding continuous updates to an interceptor with a re-ignitable upper-stage motor that can pace maneuvering threats. First delivery, 2035. But China and Russia have already deployed operational hypersonic weapons that current U.S. defenses cannot reliably stop. Our real rivals aren't other contractors. They're foreign powers who've already fielded the weapons we're racing to defend against. China possesses the world's leading hypersonic arsenal, according to the Defense Intelligence Agency, conducting 20 times more hypersonic tests than the US in the past decade. The DF-17 became operational in 2019, with at least 3 brigades deployed opposite Taiwan. The DF-27 extends reach to 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers, threatening Hawaii from Chinese borders. Russia deployed 12 Avangard hypersonic glide vehicles on ICBMs in December 2019, using Kinzhal and Zircon missiles extensively in Ukraine. These operational systems exploit a critical gap in American defenses: the glide phase. The Glide Phase Interceptor operates in precisely the altitude regime where hypersonic threats spend most flight time, 40 to 100 kilometers. After separating from its booster, a hypersonic glide vehicle glides through the upper atmosphere. Too low for space-based interceptors, too high for terminal defenses like THAAD and Patriot. GPI engages threats during this extended glide phase. Northrop Grumman's design incorporates innovations no current interceptor possesses. A re-ignitable upper-stage motor enables energy management. The interceptor can pace maneuvering targets. The multi-mode seeker combines long-wave infrared, short-wave infrared, and potentially active RF sensing to acquire plasma-sheathed targets where temperatures exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius. Mk-41. Vertical launch system compatibility means GPI deploys on existing Aegis destroyers with only software updates. But China isn't standing still. The DF-17 delivers payloads with accuracy within meters, at Mach 5 to 10 across 1,800 to 2,500 kilometers, deployed opposite Taiwan. The DF-27 extends to 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers. A leaked Pentagon assessment from February 2023 confirmed a test that flew 2,100 kilometers in 12 minutes at Mach 10, concluding the DF-27 has high probability of penetrating US BMD. Russia's Avangard travels at Mach 20+, carrying 2 megaton warheads, explicitly developed in response to US deployment of strategic missile defense system. The Zircon scramjet-powered missile reaches Mach 8 to 9, with serial production beginning October 2024. China's YJ-21 anti-ship missile achieved operational status by April 2025. Mach 6 cruise, Mach 10 terminal speed, deploying from Type 055 destroyers and H-6K bombers. Taiwan Strait, 2027. Space-based hypersonic and ballistic tracking space sensor, HBTSS, detects the DF-17's launch, tracking separation into glide phase. Fire control data flows to an Aegis destroyer. The Glide Phase Interceptor launches from Mk-41, climbing through atmosphere. Upper stage ignites, accelerating toward intercept geometry. The DF-17 maneuvers left. HBTSS tracks. Updates flow real-time. The interceptor's re-ignitable motor fires, adjusting trajectory. 40 kilometers altitude. Closing speed exceeds Mach 10. The multimode seeker acquires the plasma-sheathed glide vehicle. Divert and attitude control fires. The 3-to-1 agility advantage for hit to kill. Impact. Kinetic energy converts the threat to debris. But kinetic force meets engineering challenge. The hypersonic glide vehicle maneuvers aggressively. GPI must match that maneuverability while operating in conditions melting conventional materials. Thermal protection must survive extended flight at 2,000+ degrees Celsius. The seeker window must function through plasma sheaths. DARPA's Glide Breaker program, Boeing conducting tests through February 2027, is developing this propulsion technology for hypersonic agility. No intercept flight tests have yet been conducted. MDA project's GPI flight testing won't begin until beyond 2028. The program traces to December 2019, when MDA unveiled the Regional Glide Phase weapon system. By January 2021, MDA accelerated it as the Glide Phase Interceptor. November 2021, MDA awarded contracts to Raytheon, $20,970,000, Lockheed Martin, $20,940,000, and Northrop Grumman, $18,960,000. June 2022, downselect eliminated Lockheed. September 25, 2024, MDA selected Northrop Grumman as sole prime. Current contract, $832.8 million, after a $540.9 million expansion in November 2024. Work through November 2029. Raytheon filed federal lawsuit in November 2024, alleging MDA acted arbitrary and irrational, claiming Northrop's design won't be operational until 2035. The Court of Federal Claims ruled it has jurisdiction in February 2025. Northrop Grumman develops GPI in Chandler, Arizona, with integration in Huntsville, Alabama. This is genuinely bilateral. May 15, 2024, U.S. and Japanese officials signed the GPY Cooperative Development Project Arrangement, the most significant U.S. Japan missile defense partnership since SM-3 Block YIA. MDA leads system integration. Japan leads rocket motor development. Japan's MOD budgeted 75.7 billion yen, approximately $532 million, for fiscal year 2024, requested 55.6 billion yen for fiscal year 2026. November 2024, Japan's MOD signed 56 billion yen, approximately $370 million, with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries for rocket motors. Workshare splits 50-50 U.S.-Japanese industry. The partnership reflects Japan's vulnerability, with DF-17 deployed opposite Taiwan and DF-27 capable of striking anywhere in Japan. Tokyo views hypersonic defense as existential. Combined U.S.-Japan development likely exceeds $3 to $4 billion. Unit cost remains undisclosed. Analysts expect $50 to $100 million per interceptor, potentially higher than SM-3 Block 2A's $28 to $36 million. This shifts Pacific power balance, if it works. GPI's Mk-41 compatibility enables deployment on DDG-51 destroyers, Aegis ashore sites in Japan and Guam, and eventually Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force destroyers. Congress added $165.7 million in fiscal year 2025 for Guam defense integration. The April 2024 Biden-Kishida summit announced networked air defense architecture among the United States, Japan, and Australia, with AUKUS discussions ongoing. While the US currently dominates space-based sensors and defensive interceptors, rivals aren't far behind. China conducted approximately 20 times more hypersonic tests than the US in the past decade. The July 2021 Fractional Orbital Bombardment System test, circling the globe before striking, was what General Mark Milley called very close to a Sputnik moment. Such systems could approach from any direction, evading Arctic-concentrated US early warning radars. But sobering realities complicate the narrative. Congress mandated initial operational capability by December 31, 2029, with 12 test GPIs delivered. MDA Director Lieutenant General Heath Collins testified in May 2024 that achieving 2029 IOC would be very hard with serious risks. First delivery, unlikely before 2035 under current funding, 3 to 6 years behind mandates. Collins attributed delays primarily to resourcing rather than technology. That creates a dangerous window where adversary arsenals grow while American defenses lag. The early down select, 5 years earlier than planned, eliminated competitive pressure before preliminary design review. GAO warned in June 2022 that MDA lacked independent cost estimates and technical risk assessments, stating decision-makers will lack knowledge essential for managing program risks. Space sensor dependency adds risk. GPI requires HBTSS fire control data, but the full constellation isn't deployed. Fundamental challenges remain: achieving hypersonic speeds, surviving 2,000+ degree temperatures, functioning through plasma sheaths, providing 3-to-1 agility advantage. GAO, a new GPI missile, would have to operate in hypersonic flight conditions while also exceeding adversary hypersonic systems in speed or maneuverability. No intercept flight tests yet conducted, so here's the strategic question. Does investing billions in hypersonic defense restore strategic stability by denying adversaries the ability to hold key assets at risk? Or does it accelerate an arms race where China and Russia develop countermeasures faster than we deploy defenses? Type stability or arms race in the comments. We're reading everything. The Glide Phase Interceptor is ultimately a bet that American engineering can solve harder physics problems than any prior missile defense system has faced, that Congress will sustain funding through the long development cycle, that space-based sensors will deploy on schedule, and that the resulting system will actually work against maneuvering hypersonic targets traveling at Mach 10 or faster. It's a bet the Pentagon has decided it must make, because the alternative, leaving hypersonic weapons uncontested, is strategically unacceptable. Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives into the billion-dollar programs shaping tomorrow's battlefield, hit subscribe and share this with someone who needs to understand what's at stake. This is DIB Dispatch, where billion-dollar projects meet battlefield reality.